All right, welcome into the show that's on in the morning. Top of the morning, everybody. We are excited to be here. I'm your host with the most, Davey Fartsel. Oop. Oh, already slipped up.
Is that what it smells?
Yeah. Well, we're going to be talking about smelly streets in St. Johns County today. Pete, of course, is working on Florida Man Games. I'm next to the world famous, the greatest of all time. We're going to put that on there. Troy Blevins, very excited to have you next to me here, sir, to get us through this amazing show today. So, like I said, we have What's That Stank in St. Johns County?
What's that stank?
We're also talking about the dangerous intersection that's going on. And, your people, George Washington. How fun. We will go into all of those stories, but first we have to shout out the world famous, here we go. This is the week, buddy. It's the Florida Man Games. Yeah. Hey, they made a big announcement last night of all the teams that are going to be participating in the Florida Man Games. Did you see this yet, Troy?
I did not.
Okay, so the first team is the El Diablo and the Firecrackers. Okay, very cool logo. Next up, the Rattlesnakes. Next up, Ronin Space Cadets. Okay, then Team Swamp Ass. We've heard of them. Very cool. Yeah. Then Team Screaming Eagles. Ooh, here's one. The Mango Boys. I like how they spell it B-O-I-Z. Yeah. Mango Boys. Then Vero Man. Wonder where they're from.
They're from Vero.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the context clues there, Captain Obvious. Red-Eyed Gator Huggers. Hatchet Pro Wrestling. Storm Surge. And then our local favorites, Team Hanky Spanky. And then, of course, the Cooter Commandos.
Those guys are working hard on their social media.
Oh, I love the rivalry between Hanky Spanky and Cooter Commandos. That's going to be a real big showdown. But very, very exciting. The Florida Man Games where madness and fun align. Fluff that mullet in jorts. Let your wild side shine. Join the spectacle on February 24th at Francis Field, where chaos will pour. Games kick off at 10. A wild spree, evading arrest, a race so free. Bikes, pipes, converter, and sumo glee. Mullet contest, demos, surprise to see. Secure your spot. Don't miss the play. Grab your tickets for the Florida Man display. Ready for the madness? Let's embark. You know you're going to be there. Go to the FloridaManGames.com and get your tickets. Love it. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting that stamp on there. I needed you on that one. Nice. Of course, this show would not be happening without the great Bozard Ford and Lincoln. They've kicked off their 75th year serving St. Augustine in Northeast Florida. For 3 generations, their team and dealership have grown to meet the needs of this great community. I know that's right. The Bozard campus on I-95 and State Road 16 is full with inventory from Ford and Lincoln, along with great selection of pre-owned vehicles of all makes and models in the area. We love the state-of-the-art service departments, quick lane for express service, and parts and accessory shops that can take care of all your needs during the time you own your vehicle. And no visit to Bozard Ford is complete without a stop at Ford's Garage to enjoy one of their signature burgers. Try a 904 Now burger, at least one to go, right? From delivery to your new car in your own driveway to mobile service of your fleet of company vehicles or anything in between, the team at Bozard Ford Lincoln is ready to meet your needs in a way that is designed exclusively for you. Just let their family take care of your family. They're Bozard Ford Lincoln, and they're driven to
inspire.
Yes! Very, very nice. All right, my next call to action here is intro to co-host. I've already done that, so we've checked that box. How you doing this morning, sir?
Hey, happy Wednesday. I know it's confusing because we haven't been here for 2 days.
That's true.
And there was President's Day, and there was a lot of stuff going on.
I celebrate President's Day very heavily.
People need to know it's Wednesday.
Right.
And your hair is on point, man.
I know. I'm just getting it for the children here. I got to teach them a lesson.
Man, how early you get up just to do that?
4:30.
Wow.
Got to go relaxer. Got to go calmer. Got to smooth it out. Then we go a hot comb.
Yeah, I'm like, my beard takes a little bit of time, but it's like 64 seconds.
Oh, it's fun. But morning so far so good. Blake, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Can you guys hear me?
We cannot hear you inside. We know you're talking, and I'm sure they can hear you in the world out there.
Right, and we're grateful that you're here pushing all the buttons today, sir. Thank you. So we have Hump Day today. Very important day. What is the question du jour, sir?
The question of du jour is the question of the day, by the way.
Yeah. That sounds good. I'll have that.
Yeah. What Florida Man games are you looking forward to the most? Like, which activity are you looking forward to the most?
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of activities, we're talking like...
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, right. Oh, man, I'm looking at I'm going to say Florida Man Pinup. I'm really excited to see those ladies because it is an absolute work of art. I'm excited to see what they have to bring to the table and to give some sort of like, floral presentation on this like testosterone battle of the ages here.
Well, it kind of takes us back to old school too. I mean, the whole pinup thing makes me think of 40s, 50s,
right.
in that time period. So that'll be interesting.
They've got some really cool like celebrity pinup girls that are showing up, which is awesome. I know there's one that was almost in retirement, and she's coming out of retirement just for this. So this could be very, very cool.
I just looked at the picture. I need to zip up a little bit.
You're a little bit Tom Selleck.
Showing a little too much.
That's it. Hey, of
the gray hairs on my chest there. It's,
little fiber. Yeah. All right.
Oh, Blake's got some interesting sounds going in here.
Can you hear me now?
Blake, what are you looking forward to?
I would say Battle of the Badges.
Oh, Battle of the Badges.
Yeah. I tell you that I think that's a great way to finish off the night.
Gonna tell you.
It should be real exciting on what's going on in there. So
they're taking that very seriously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a big training situation. I'm excited for that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see how they're going to work out the evading arrest thing.
I'm
just curious I mean, in my mind I have it worked out.
Yeah.
But in my mind and Pete's mind are completely different.
Very.
And, people keep asking me about Inside Scoop. We don't have any.
No, we have none.
We don't have any. Pete is keeping us just as surprised as you are.
We have no
idea.
idea.
Like every time he gives an announcement, we're like, oh, yeah. We're really, we didn't know it was happening.
Very genuine reaction.
Yeah,
right?
So people were like, keep asking. You can ask, but we don't know anything.
We have no idea. You just go to the info at thefloridamangames.com. That is your beacon of hope right there. If you have any questions. Well, very good. I look forward to seeing everyone's answers and comments and seeing what you guys are looking forward to for the Florida Man Games. But let's go to a quick check of the weather, Troy.
Cool and clear.
Very nice. That quick check of the weather is brought to you by Great Expectations Auction and Realty. They can sell your home, the business, and everything in between. Check them out today at geauction.com or gerealty.us. We now go high above the sky with our traffic expert. We have Blake in studio. Blake, what's going on with that traffic out there, sir?
The computer's still loading. All right, there we go. There's traffic.
Beautiful. Look
It's
at
looking
that.
good.
Flowing and going.
Stay off US 1. It's still a mess.
Gosh, you know what?
It's a mess.
It's a hot mess. Do we need a subcommittee for that too?
I can tell you, man. Coming off of my street, Lemon Street, onto US 1 is so dangerous.
Very dangerous. Yeah.
Because Flowerworks now is all bunched up, so their cars are blocking your view. Mm-hmm. So you have to almost put your nose out in traffic to get out in traffic.
So they said, or we had Ruben on, and he was talking about the King Street Bridge and when that's going down. They're going to put a light over at Malaga to try to mitigate some of that.
I don't see how that's helping.
I don't know how that's
I think it's going to back it up onto US 1 still.
Yeah.
So I just don't. I mean, I'm so nervous about that one, but it's got to be done. I mean, it's not like.
Can you avoid going out on Lemon? Can you go on another route?
If I'm going, I can go to Castillo and have to cut, but then you have to cut across Castillo, and it's still. But it's all these things are going to be fine in about 3 or 4 years.
Right.
It's just going to take that long to get there.
Yeah, but anything.
So and then something else is going to be inconvenience to us. So I mean, it's part of growing the way we grew. So
yeah. Well, that traffic report brought to you by Amara Med Spa. Looking for a relaxing and rejuvenating experience? Look no further than Amara Med Spa. At Amara, they specialize in providing their clients with a range of luxurious spa treatments and advanced medical aesthetic procedures. Whether you're looking to unwind with a soothing hydrofacial or enhance your natural beauty with Botox, derma fillers, or laser treatments, their expert staff will work with you to develop a personalized treatment plan tailored to your unique needs and goals. Amara's state-of-the-art facility features the latest technology and equipment and ensuring that you receive the highest quality of care and the most effective results possible. Plus, Amara's relaxing and inviting atmosphere will leave you feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. Check them out today. Get on one of their appointments, theamaramedspa.com. Love them over there. Hey, we have a smelly story to start the day off here.
It stinks.
St. Johns County neighbors are concerned about an odor that smacks you in the face in the community. Residents in the central part of St. Johns County are expressing frustration over a persistent foul odor plaguing their neighborhoods, sparking concerns about its impact on their health and property values. Last summer, a news organization, I'm not going to say their name, highlighted complaints from a woman living along Carter Road off of County Road 214. The unpleasant smell in her area, now residents in the nearby Morgan's Cove neighborhood, also off 214, are echoing similar grievances. They describe the odor as worse than human feces and stagnant water, while Jesse likened the smell that it would smack you in your face. I don't know if she likened it, but that's what the article says. But yeah. The source of the odor is coming from Indian Head Biomass Services. Oh, we interviewed them. Oh my gosh, he was awesome. A company located less than a mile away, which processes treated human waste and organic material to produce composting dirt. I know that Horseplay Therapy uses them for a lot of their, I don't know, like
a lot of the farmers are using them, and
it's smart.
You know, and I watched a little bit of the county public comment, and a lot of these people, like, you know, if one person's up there saying it,
right.
You know, it's one thing.
Right.
But there was like 6 or 7.
Oh, my goodness.
That was up there. I mean, so it must be something that's going on out there. And to the guy's credit, who works, the engineer who works there, was there also.
Yeah. Oh, he was.
He was there also.
He's a stand-up guy.
And he spoke. So, I mean,
yeah.
I got to give him credit. I mean, that he was, you know, he didn't shy away from the discussion. So
is there any kind of
solution?
Can we get sponsored by Febreze or something?
I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is out there and how pungent. Yeah. It sounds very pungent.
Very, well, when I was younger, we would train at a quarry outside of Avondale, Pennsylvania, that's mushroom company or country. So you can only imagine the smell of the manure in the morning. I mean, it was definitely would singe your nose hairs, as my dad would say. So yeah, I could see definitely a split here, but I mean,
and see, I spend so much time outside, like, you know, Blake and I, we watch our games outside. We spend a lot of time on our porch. You know, I can't imagine.
I couldn't imagine
living in something that you couldn't even be outside.
I mean, I know how smells are acquired, and you probably could get used to it over time, but still, it's pungent.
No, I remember Palatka used to be the smelly city.
Oh yeah.
You know, because of the paper plants and stuff like that. But they've done such a nice job of cleaning up. They heightened the stacks and everything else because of the pulpwood. But I'm telling you right now, it was the smelly city.
Wow.
When you went there, and now you go there and you don't smell it anymore.
How far back was this?
We're talking in the 70s.
Okay, so they did find some way to make this better.
Yeah, so they figured it out. Hopefully these guys can figure it out and you know, still do good stuff. I mean, because I think what they're trying to do is good for the environment. But you know, if it's bad for all the neighbors, I don't know if it's worth the trade-off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It looks like they're getting to address some odor concerns, including the installation of biofilters and an attention wall. Nevertheless, residents admit that the odor will still persist and demand effective action to resolve the issue. I know you all laugh at me, but the wind mitigation is a factor here.
Yeah.
They need to. I don't know, but maybe they can research what they did in Palatka and maybe make it better. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, but real quick, so what's your opinion on? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Much better. All right. Let me turn myself up on here. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, good. But real quick on the realtor side. So what's your opinion on like the realtor side? And now it looks like no one can hear me.
Yeah,
okay.
Property values. Yeah.
Property. Yeah, and this is something that will need to be disclosed if you're selling a house out there as a realtor. So you say, hey, you know, they're working on this, and because if you know about it, you have to let the buyer know.
Yeah.
You can't not disclose it. So this is one of those situations where you can't just sell that house without mentioning it to the buyer. So hopefully people do their job and don't catch people off guard with this. But I'm hopeful they'll figure it out and they'll get it settled and everybody can play nice together. Because I genuinely, just hearing that guy talk yesterday, it sounds like he wanted to be a good neighbor.
Yeah, he's a great guy. We talked to him when they came on with Horseplay and talked about the need of it. And it's an incredible organization, Indian Head. So yeah, I'm sure that they'll come up with some great solution. So have no fear, the stink will be clear.
Indeed.
Yes.
All right, we move into the Gas Buddy gas report this morning. That, of course, is brought to you by Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. We'll get to him in just a moment. But the looks like the Circle K over on 16, 305, leading the charge here today. Of course, we have the Mobile out on 210, 313. We have the Shell on King Street, 319. Sunoco North Ponds, 319. The Shell on Ponce de Leon, 319. Owens, 319. The Gate is at 327. And anybody have Costco or Buc-ee's out there?
Costco is 309.
Oh, very
Thank
good.
you, Tim, on time.
Thank you, Tim.
309 on time.
Yeah, very good, sir.
Tim on time.
309 on time. Are you someone that knows someone that's in trouble with the law and need immediate bail assistance?
Yep.
Dude, I would call Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Their team of experienced professionals is available 24/7. That's every day, all day, and every to provide fast and reliable bail bonds. Ensuring that you and your loved one can get out of jail and back to your life as soon as possible. Give them a call. Remember this number. Never forget it. 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2245. And now it's time for the music report, brought to you by Visit St. Augustine, live music mic check. We have Richard I see it now. Kanicki.
Kanicki.
Okay, Richard Kanicki.
We're going with Kanicki
at Cafe Alcazar at noon. We have Jim Lamb, there he is, Milltop Tavern at noon. Smokin' Joe Shower at Tradewinds at 1. Juan at Bin 39, 4 p.m. Reggie Starrett at the Milltop Tavern at 4:30. Carpetbaggers at Hurricane Grill and Wings at 5 p.m. Mark Hart at Tradewinds at 5 p.m. Brett Blackshear at Old Coast Ales, 6 p.m. Burn Unit at Ancient City Bourbon and Boards at 6 p.m. Great spot. Our guy at Dewey Via at Ann O'Malley, 6 p.m. Heather Craig at the Southern Vibes Tasting Room, 6 p.m. Colin Costco at Salt Life, 6 p.m. Jonathan Lee Dotson, our favorite, at Shayla Moore, 7 p.m. Drake White at Ponte Vedra Concert Hall at 8 p.m. And Ryan Montbleu at Cafe 11, 8 p.m. That, of course, is brought to you by Griffin Service. All AC, plumbing, and electrical companies are not created equal. Griffin Service understands choosing the right company when you need AC, plumbing, or electrical service is a big decision. Well, hundreds of local families just like you every week get their problems fixed so that you can get back to what really matters. You see them everywhere, dozens a time a week, and when you do, it's always met with legendary service. If you have an AC, plumbing, or electrical problem, Griffin makes it easy. Check them out today. Schedule online at griffinservice.com or call 904-500-2653. All right, residents won't change at dangerous St. Johns County intersection. Oh, what's this about? Residents at St. Johns County are expressing concerns of demanding action of a fatal car crash that happened early Tuesday morning on St. Johns Parkway near State Road 9B. Yeah.
It's up there.
A local resident who uses the pedestrian bridge daily described the intersection as an alarming and unsafe, echoing sentiments shared by the nearby residents who find reoccurring crashes and caution tape always distressing, of course. The Florida Highway Patrol reported that the 35-year-old man who lost his life while attempting to exit State Road 9B, instead of skid marks indicating an attempt to slow down, the first visible evidence was damaged concrete curb and the tire marks leading through the grass, sidewalk, and the pedestrian bridge, which are tragic, where the tragic accident occurred. County records revealed that since 2018, they have been about 10 crashes at that intersection, with 5 vehicles colliding with the bridge. That's a scary bridge because I know those kids go to Liberty Pines over that bridge. Yeah, that's a major thing.
But there's a big gap there.
It's a weird turn, though. I saw it this morning on the local news as well. Like it's like a weird. They kind of have to veer into the traffic. It's one of those sort of like a peanut kind of layout. So local residents are advocating for immediate action, suggesting solutions like additional lighting and warning signs to enhance visibility and curb accidents, particularly at night. Yeah, I mean, what can people do, Troy, to rally on a situation like this? And will they listen?
It looks to me, I mean, like it looks to me like there's a gap there, but I mean, it's if they put safety bollards, you know, that kind of give that added level to protect that certain area. If it's hitting the same spot,
right?
You know, okay, we got a problem there. If
Definitely.
it's hitting the same spot,
yeah.
So if they put safety bollards to stop before it gets to that walkway,
yeah, can definitely probably help or something.
You know, and it looks like there's room to do that.
Right.
So I mean, I would have to see the entire intersection to kind of give any
because there's a light
educational
right there.
guess, and they got engineers on it, but I mean, if it's hitting the same spot, then
over and over again,
we got a problem.
Right.
So hopefully they'll figure it out.
But how fast is something like that? Can that be changed? I mean, is that stuff that?
But to put up bollards, it doesn't take much at all.
It doesn't. Okay.
No, it doesn't take much at all. I mean.
All right, so here's State Road 9B, like the exit going.
Oh, so that's where they come around that corner.
Right.
Yep.
See how it's sort of like a peanutty
and here's the pedestrian bridge.
Right.
So drivers are going from here down Parkway, and if you're going way too fast, you might hit the.
You get up on that sidewalk and okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I can see what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
So
that's messy.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, even if you put safety bollards right there, I mean, that would at least protect the people on the sidewalk.
Right. Right.
So I mean, it doesn't protect the bad driver.
Yeah.
You know. So okay.
Yeah, the I-team has requested for further crash data. I mean, how much more data do you need? It's obviously the proof is in the punch. It keeps happening over and over.
Yeah,
again.
it wasn't like you didn't know this was there.
They pledged to provide updates and information becomes available. Well, this needs to happen yesterday, so
yeah. And Bobby's asking, was excessive speed involved? And it almost looks like it has to be.
Yeah.
So
like,
I mean, it's like
trying to make the light. One of those moments.
I was trying to think of a curve down here in St. Augustine because that's a little further north of us. Is the curve near RB Hunt, Anastasia, coming from the island?
Yes.
That curve.
Yep.
A lot of people miss that and end up in the trees there.
It's a true story. Yeah.
So and it's always excessive speed.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we can do to stop that. It's just protect the people that are on the sidewalk from the knuckleheads who can't keep their foot off the gas.
Right. Yeah. Don't get confused, especially with kids involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. All right. So we'll stay on that and we'll see if there's anything that develops on that. That moves us into, documents reveal George Washington wrote about St. Augustine. We'll get to that story in just a moment, but first we're going to talk about Fidus Roofing. Will you get to, I already said that. As Master Elite contractors take the pride in every single day. What sets them apart? They're not just building roofs, they're building a better community. Fidus Roofing believes in giving back, and their commitment to St. Johns County shines through their support of various children's organizations like Big Brothers, Big Sisters of St. Johns County, the Boy Scouts, and Inc. Investing in Kids. With Fidus Roofing, you're not only getting a quality roof, but you're also investing in the future of these incredible organizations. Choose Fidus Roofing for top-notch service and their big heart for the community, and give them a call today, 904-255-ROOF. They do pavers
and gutters. Yeah. Leave the to me, Davey.
I love the for you. You definitely get in there. It's like it comes from the guts. It's very good.
Yeah.
Hold on, Davey.
Yes, sir.
I got some bad news.
What happened?
You messed up one number. It's 904-355-ROOF. They do.
I have 255 there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Documents reveals George Washington wrote about St. Augustine. On President's Day, historian, Roger Smith, we love him, unveils a lesser-known narrative surrounding George Washington's strategic interest in St. Augustine during the Revolutionary War. Smith's research unearthed 81 letters penned by Washington, shedding light on his view of St. Augustine as a military target or concern. Delving into British archives at the University of Florida and combing through Washington's correspondence at the Library of Congress, Smith uncovered insights overlooked in conventional history education. Among the discovered letters is one dated December 18th, 1775. Isn't that Mike Davis's year?
Yeah, that's when he graduated high school.
Very similar, yeah. Or originating in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where Washington mentions intercepting British correspondence detailing arms and stockpiled in St. Augustine's Castillo de San Marcos. At the time, Florida comprised 2 British colonies, East Florida and West Florida, were largely pro-British territories, posing a threat to the American cause. Despite initial gains, British forces eventually reclaimed St. Augustine, prompting the further American incursions authorized by Congress. Smith's research challenges the notion that the Revolutionary War was confined to regions directly commanded by Washington, highlighting the border scope of the conflict and Washington's strategic foresight extending to Florida. Interesting facts, sir. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it only makes sense. I mean, this was British rule. We weren't really a part of the U.S. until 1821. Oh, okay. So it was British rule, and then after this Revolutionary, it reverted back to Spain. So it would make sense, supply lines and some of those things. If British had control here, it would make sense that it would be supported from the South in a lot of ways too. It wouldn't just be isolated. I mean, the generals of England at the time were supposed to be the superior strategic people, but they were fighting like 4 wars all over the world at that point.
Yeah.
That point. So it would make sense, and luckily Washington was smart enough to recognize that was a threat. So it sounds like, okay, we need to keep our eye on it down here is kind of the way I read that, and not just ignore the threat from the southern side.
But finding some artifacts like this, is this significant in history? Is that changing anything? Changing the narrative?
No, I mean, it's a great find, but it's kind of one of those things. Historian people probably knew it existed. They just didn't have it in hand.
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody who's a person of history is shocked by this in any way, shape, or form. Like, oh my gosh, you find it. But
St. Augustine was significant back in the day.
No, it was significant. I mean, it was a like I said, everybody wanted their hands on it. I mean, that's why Spain took it back, because their support of the colonies. That they took Florida back after that, and then we got it in 1821. The U.S. got it in 1821.
What was the better rule?
It became a state in 1845.
Do you think St. Augustine prospered better with Spanish rule or British rule?
I don't think British rule really, it had some influence on us, but I don't think the British rule, because it was only like 20 years, created a major influence on St. Augustine. I mean, there was some architectural things. There's colonial architectural from the British, because they changed some of the first Spanish area a little bit to make it more British.
Okay. The look, the aesthetic.
Yeah, the aesthetic. Okay. So some of those things got changed. So Spanish. The first Spanish rule was the most significant to setting who we are, and then the British rule was, like I said, it wasn't very long, and then the second Spanish, they kind of just came back, but not everybody came back.
Interesting. Okay.
So like when it was British rule, everybody kind of went to Cuba. A lot of people went to Cuba, so we lost a lot of people when it went from Spanish to British, and not as many people came back when it went from British back to Spanish.
Interesting.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally does. Yeah,
yes.
Not everybody came back to the party.
So how did British rule impact Fort Mose then?
Fort Mose had already been gone by that point.
Really?
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, it got washed away at that point already. But what it was is there were free blacks and most of those went to Cuba that were living in the city, and it affected those individuals quite a bit. Like you didn't want to be a free black man in under British rule.
Yeah.
So that affected them. They kind of didn't have a choice. They just went to Cuba.
Right. Well, weren't they already Catholic? They were converted to Catholic.
Well, and a lot of the ones that didn't go to Cuba migrated to Seminole. So you hear of the Black Seminoles and some of those things. Some of those free black men went into some of the Seminole tribes in Central Florida.
Okay.
Like we only think of Seminole down south, but there was Seminole tribes near like Claremont and Ocala area and that area too. Like the Black Seminoles were in that area also, and that kind of forced that portion of history to take place when British took over from the Spanish.
Gotcha.
So
wow. Well, George Washington knew what was going on.
Yeah,
he was part of the pulse.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, at that time, I mean, you know, St. Augustine was bigger than Calford.
Yeah.
So Calford is Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So Andrew Jackson hadn't been born yet, so it wasn't Jacksonville yet.
Right.
So
it was just St. Augustine was probably the proper.
Yeah, St. Augustine was the city, and I think Key West might have been more populated than St. Augustine, but it was those were 1 and 2 in the state as far as population of the state of Florida.
Oh,
so
isn't that interesting?
And Pensacola was over there doing their thing, and at that point it was still East and West Florida.
Right.
And I believe it's the British that just made it Florida.
Okay.
So, somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that.
But that's interesting, though. Yeah. Another thing that's interesting, I know you have been waiting for this story. Mm-hmm. There is a new St. Johns County website and mobile app that's going to be released. During the St. Johns County Board of Commissioners meeting on February 20th, a significant advancement in digital communication and public engagement was unveiled. Please tell me, were you here for this live in person?
Well, I noticed it yesterday.
Okay.
They went live yesterday, and I noticed it yesterday, and I was so used to the other website. I was like, oh, but it looks really nice. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm still trying to figure out how
through it, right?
I knew exactly where my drop downs were.
Right,
We've had the same one for like 15 years. So, as a...
Well, they're saying that this is more efficient and enhanced connectivity with St. Johns County.
As an old Xer/boomer,
okay.
Change is bad.
Well, we know that we report on the afternoon show that Mondays at the River House, they do have like a tech training for any boomers out there.
So all right. I might have to work
my
way over.
Well, Joy Andrews, the county administrator, expressed the importance of this milestone, emphasizing the commitment to transparency and efficiency. We had her on last week. The new platform aims to facilitate dynamic interaction and engagement with the community by offering streamlined access to county services and information. The key features, are you ready? Mm-hmm. User accessibility, prioritizing inclusivity and ease of navigation to ensure a user-friendly experience. Road closure tool. Ooh, Blake, we may have to get you on this one. Providing real-time updates and ongoing road closures. Filterable news releases. That'll be interesting. Enabling users to find relevant news tailored to interests and needs. They can just tune in to us.
So I was going to say they're just going to link right to us.
You guys want to link with us? You come on our show. That'd be fun. You know? Calendar of events, of course, and online meeting viewing. Oh, that's nice, because that has always been a cumbersome area to try to find these online meetings that they have, or the meetings that they have that are streaming. So that's good. Allowing residents to conveniently view government meetings online, promoting transparency and civic engagement.
Their online has always been easier than the city. The city's a little more challenging to find, and the city needs to make their online viewing a little less cumbersome.
Right.
So the county's always been fairly good, and I think they improved it yesterday. I didn't know where I was looking, but I was able to find it pretty quickly.
What do you think sparked this change?
I think it was just time. I think it's, like I said, the other one's been in place, and it served the county well. They did some new branding, which this one allows them to use their branding better.
Okay.
So, it seemed, like I said, I was like, at first, and then I found my way through it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And if I can do it, everybody can do it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yes. This the code enforcement on private property and pride requests for public property concerns. So this will be interesting. The introduction of these digital platforms obviously has been released. So they have a commitment to modernizing communication channels, faster community engagement, and enhancing accessibility to county services and information. Very interesting. So yeah, I will check that out as soon as we're done with shows today. That'll be a good one to follow up on. Hey, WTF Wednesday. Tesla Cybertruck owners say their stainless steel trucks are rusting.
Are these things like $250,000 or something?
I have a friend in California that literally just bought the new SUV, and like she's like the first one in town and like showing it off. But this is hysterical. Like all of a sudden, their stainless steel trucks are rusting. Recent reports suggest that the stainless steel panels of the Tesla Cybertruck, despite claims of being stain resistant, are showing signs of stain and corrosion. Like stainless steel kitchen appliances, you'll see like the one like rust stain. It'll start growing. Some Tesla Cybertruck owners have noticed persistent orange stains on their vehicles' exteriors. Now all the trucks are going to be painted orange.
Is it patina?
Yeah, right.
Is it a patina? Because a patina is cool.
Yeah, that could, especially with how these Cybertrucks look. The aesthetic is very industrial. Potentially indicating early rust and corrosion issues are reported by this website for Futurism. Even with minimal road exposure, Cybertrucks are displaying imperfections on their body panels, prompting discussions among owners about the cause of these early signs of rust. On the Cybertruck Owners Club forum, users have shared experiences, with one member noticing orange flecks, there it is, after just 2 days of rain. Oh. Yikes, this is scary. I mean, like, what do you do?
It looks good, but don't let rain hit it.
Yeah, keep it dry at all times. Don't feed it after midnight.
Only in the garage.
Despite claims of stain resistance, the Cybertruck manual acknowledges susceptibility to corrosive substances like grease and oil. Tesla's cleaning recommendations further confirm the vulnerability of the steel panels. So they're like, yeah, it's going to happen.
We knew that.
You didn't read the fine print. That's what happens.
We knew that.
Have you ever had like a rust on any of your vehicles and does it get like, is it horrible?
Well, I mean, like my 65 Jeep has rust on it, but what I did with it when I did the remodel is I used what they use in the back of pickup trucks, the Rhino line. So my entire Jeep is Rhino lined, like the entire body up underneath, everything's Rhino lined to try and fight off the rust that's been there for 40 years prior to.
Oh, wow.
Because, I mean, the Jeep's older than me.
Right.
So, and I got rust everywhere.
Yeah.
So, it's
fish oil.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're using.
Right.
It's called bourbon.
But seriously, like driving on the beach and all that stuff will definitely rust out your car.
Yeah, I mean,
we live in a sulfur community, so.
Yeah, it's very volatile. And when I was Parks and Recreation Director, there was a company that guaranteed no rust. They did the powder coating and stuff like that.
Oh, Lord.
Guaranteed no rust on the playground. We had to replace it in 3 years, and they had to pay for it. So everything that's out on the ocean, and evidently ours is more volatile than a lot of other areas that are on the salt, that are on the ocean. And if for some reason our area rusts even more, like if you have an air conditioning unit outside, it's probably going to last you 4 or 5 years.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I mean, those things, you need to hose them down on a regular basis. But the only thing that I've found on a car that works is the Rhino lining.
Really?
So,
is it expensive?
It's not cheap.
Yeah. We don't want it to be cheap. You want it to work. I mean,
So it's not cheap, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
So.
Blake, that's not happening on your car, right?
No, not yet. I already have an issue with it right now.
He's got a leak going on right now.
Oh, no, really? It's an amazing car.
It is.
It's a great looking car. We're fixing it. I got some silicone coming in.
I have some Kentucky chrome if you guys ever want that.
Yeah, I got zip tape. Blake didn't want the zip tape. I had to zip tape his truck, but it stopped it, didn't it, Blake?
It did.
Zip tape is so good. I wish I came in flesh color. I could use it as a facelift. It'd be awesome.
Oh, jeez. All right. I actually, Davey, there's actually one story that I forgot to put in show prep. Dad, would you like to tell the people about the Martin Luther King house?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, please do.
So like yesterday, there was a neighbor, and just to kind of go full story, and I don't want to upset anybody in any neighborhoods because I evidently have a tendency to do that.
Me too, apparently.
Yeah, so yeah, you get in trouble for what I said.
I know, right?
But the house, the Canwright house, which is the house that got shot up that was on Atlantic View, it was going to move to Windswept Acres. The neighborhood had some concerns because there's some flooding issues, and that neighborhood's had a lot of flooding issues. Concerns are legitimate, and but the county administration, with their wisdom, has chipped in a little bit more money to move it over closer to where we're trying to get the Florida Museum over at Collier Blocker Puryear Park. So it's the one that's on the corner of King Street and Holmes. There's an area right there where the president's house used to be from Florida Memorial, and they want the house there. The neighborhood at Windswept had some concerns about how many people are going to visit there. It's a smaller park. It is not going to be an open museum. It's going to be a historic exhibit. So there'll be an observation area and you'll be able to see it and stuff like that. But the county chipped in the extra money to move that extra. So I'll keep you informed as we get closer to when the move, because the move is going to be a challenge.
Can you talk a little bit about it? Or
I'm a consultant on it for the foundation.
Yeah.
And the foundation's the one who stepped up and got the grant to save the house. The owners, they tried several different ways to save the house and build around it. But the way the house is positioned on the property, it doesn't meet new code and they couldn't get the variance. So their only option is to move the house or knock it down.
Yeah.
Luckily, the foundation and the state stepped up, and now the county stepped up and doing their part to get it to an area that it's more welcomed and it fits the environment of what we're trying to do with the state museum.
I got to tell you, I was listening to you talk about moving this. It's quite a feat. It's not just like you're slapping something on some back of a truck here.
Yeah,
I mean, you really.
You have to secure the building so that it doesn't just collapse around you.
Right.
And because we're moving this so far, we now have to put a cage all the way around the house instead of just in the corners. So there's that. That's the longer move. There's some obstacles like trees and homes. We're going to have to do some tree trimming. The bridge is scary, so we got to make sure the weight is proper and distributed correctly. So there's a lot that goes into moving this house, and it's a 900 square foot house. It's a block house, 900 square foot. So.
And you said it's not going to be open 24/7, or
no, it'll be by appointment.
Cool.
And then at that point, once we get it there, it becomes part of the Parks and Recreation Department.
Do you think that will help us facilitate trying to get that Black History Museum? You think that'll increase the chance?
I think it definitely helps us show our desire.
Yeah.
And our commitment to this.
Cool.
And even if we don't get it, it's still a great exhibit for West Augustine. And it tells the story of Martin Luther King in St. Augustine. And the story is this house address was put in the paper saying this is where Martin Luther King is going to be.
Wow.
He never stayed overnight there, but because he couldn't, it wouldn't have been safe at that point where the Record put it in the paper. Just irresponsible reporting in 1964, or maybe they just had let's get this guy.
Right, exactly. We got a tip. Can you put this in? Yeah.
It's so hard to tell what the motives were, but when Martin Luther King came to St. Augustine, he had to go through multiple houses so people didn't know where it was at, and multiple houses did get shot up. This is not the only house that got shot.
Really? So there were multiple.
So even like Dr. Haling's house was shot during that time, but not the same time as, and they actually killed Dr. Haling's boxer.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, they killed the dog, but the dog alerted his wife and the kids where they were, gave them enough time to get into the family bathtub and hide in the bathtub as the shooting happened.
What a time!
So, but the dog saved the family's life, but the dog actually lost her life. Wow,
what a story! I'm so glad we're keeping that house though. That's awesome news.
Yeah. So no, it's a part of history. I mean, and sometimes it's an embarrassing part of history that the way people acted.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
with that said, how do you want to check the comments today, Troy?
I will wrangle the whimsical comments of our midweek watchers.
All right.
I was called Wiley and Wiry at the same time.
That's a hard one.
I felt like I was talking like Elmer Fudd.
Or Peanuts teacher.
Walks at Wabbits.
And while you're checking that, I will talk about Bates, Hewitt, and Floyd. They set the standard that your home is more than just a house. It's where your memories are made. They provide peace of mind and insurance to protect your biggest investments. Having a reliable local insurance agency like Bates, Hewitt, and Floyd for over 40 years of experience in homeowners insurance, auto, commercial, and benefits can be a valuable asset in navigating the unpredictable insurance market. They have the expertise to help you find the right coverage for your needs. Christy Lawrenson, we love her, is readily available for your at the St. Augustine office, conveniently situated across from UF Health. She offers complimentary policy reviews with a helpful service, and anyone looking to ensure their insurance coverage is up to date and suitable for all their needs. Give them a call today. Go see our buddy Christy, 904-794-5455. All right, Troy, what'd you come up with?
Basically, they told me I talk too much.
Thanks, guys. Jeez, we need him to talk.
No, Jennifer, thank you for the stars.
Cool.
Hefty Lefty was watching in. I appreciate you, Hefty Lefty. And a lot of people are getting excited about this weekend, and they're happy to see us.
Thank you, guys. Look at, you guys manifested this. Here we are.
You guys didn't really give us any choice. We're like, okay, we can't have our peeps mad at us.
Yeah, they were mad. So there was a prayer circle yesterday. There was a lot of rallying for this to happen.
You are our peeps. And,
we love you guys. We'll do it. Yes.
We'll be here the rest of the week. So.
And STOITM will be on too. I've got the great Kate Batzel will be sitting in with me, and we're going to be talking to Kathleen Miner this afternoon, so that'll be a good show. Yeah. But STOITM stats, Troy.
All right, STOITM stat today is the day Malcolm X was assassinated. He was assassinated in 1965 in New York, and he was assassinated pretty much by his own people, the Nation of Islam. He had left the Nation of Islam. Him and Elijah kind of had a little separation, and Elijah, don't want to say he's the person who assigned it, but he was assassinated by his own people in the Nation of Islam.
Wow.
So 39 years old.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, and a lot of people are like, why was Malcolm X so angry and stuff like that? Malcolm X's father was a preacher, and his father was murdered. They're pretty sure he was murdered by a white supremacist, but it was KKK associated. So. Malcolm had a really rough childhood growing up. They had to move around quite a bit, and then when his father was murdered, he got arrested at age 21 and went to jail, and that's when he found Islam.
Wow!
So
it was like a whole.
And he was there for 6 years, and he was opposite of Martin Luther King. His thing was defend yourself and separation. So they were opposite there, but it's definitely an interesting man, an interesting story for only being 39 years old.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's STOITM Stat, brought to you by where am I going? I'm going there. Boom, the great St. Augie's Pizza, craving delicious pizza in St. Augustine. It's our favorite in 904. Look no further, St. Augie's Pizza, located in the corner of Riberia Street. They're serving mouth-watering slices of heaven, from classic margarita to the loaded supreme. Don't forget the Cuban. We've got your pizza cravings always covered. Check them out at St. Augie's Pizza. We love them. You'll love it, so get down there and grab a slice or two today.
And Augie said good morning. We saw Augie in the comments this morning.
So morning, sir.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, plugs, Troy.
Plugs tonight. I really don't have a whole lot. We had a great trivia last night.
Cool.
Bollocks is tomorrow night.
Very, very nice. Are you ready to release topic of Bollocks yet or not yet?
No, not yet.
Okay,
we'll do it tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow.
Geez.
I got to confirm it with my man Lenny.
Sounds good. And of course, we have STOITM this afternoon at 3 o'clock. We have Kathleen Miner talking about Hopeful Handbags Global, and she started her own platform, keeping kids safe in the digital universe. So I'm excited to talk about that. We've got co-host Kate Batzel in the house. Very, very cool. So check us out 3 o'clock. Hit that share button. We love you. Thanks, Booze. See you later.
Bye-bye.